Day 19, no food. And I measured everything. Your blood sugar sitting at 52. Your ketones at a number most doctors have never seen on a patient. One number on day 19 completely rewrote what I thought I knew about my body. Not the weight loss, not the glucose. It was a measurement most people never take. There's one test that reveals which fuel your body is actually burning. And by day 19, my result told a story the research barely covers. In the 1960s, Dr. George Cahill and his team at Harvard tracked men through weeks of complete fasting. Biochemistry is documented in his review published in the Annual Review of Nutrition. But almost nobody has repeated that with modern consumer-grade tracking. So did. I tracked glucose, ketones, heart rate, body temperature, and one number that changed everything. Here's what happened inside, phase by phase. By day 19, 3 specific numbers had formed a pattern I'd never seen in any study, each one built on the last. I'll reveal all 3, but the timeline matters. For the first 72 hours, your body runs on stored glycogen. Think of it like emptying the pantry, glucose packed into your liver and muscles. The 2018 review in Nutrition Reviews put liver glycogen at about 100 grams, muscles at 400. That's roughly 2,000 calories of quick access fuel. Day 1, 95. Day 3, 78. Day 5, 65. That's your pantry running empty. And if you're thinking 65 sounds dangerously low, that was my first reaction too. But in a fasting state, your brain isn't relying on glucose as its primary fuel anymore. Something else takes over. This is the metabolic switch. Your liver begins converting stored fat into ketone bodies, beta-hydroxybutyrate. A 2012 review in Nutrition and Metabolism found that ketones can fuel up to 75% of your brain during extended fasting. Your brain doesn't starve, it switches fuels. Quick. Do you think my glucose went up or down after day 5? The answer surprised me. It stabilized. Between 50 and 55 for the rest of the fast. Your body finds a new baseline. By day 7, my blood ketones hit 2.1, solid nutritional ketosis. We're a third of the way through the timeline now, and this is where it gets interesting. Your cells start a renovation program, breaking down damaged proteins, clearing out dysfunctional components. Scientists call this autophagy. Think of it like a renovation crew that finally got full access to the building. Normally, they only work overnight. That's your 16-hour fast. But give them 2 uninterrupted weeks? A 2019 review in the New England Journal of Medicine described how extended fasting periods may activate cellular stress resistance pathways. The longer the fast, the deeper the renovation. But I want to be honest with you. The exact rate and depth of autophagy during extended human fasting is still being studied. We're extrapolating from animal models and limited human data. The concept is well established. The precise timeline in humans is not. By day 14, my ketones had climbed to 3.4. My glucose was stable at 55. My weight had dropped 11 pounds. We're in the final stretch now, days 14 through 19. My resting heart rate dropped from 62 to 51. My body temperature fell to 97.1. A 2018 randomized controlled trial in obesity found that even structured fasting protocols can reduce resting metabolic rate. Your body adapts. It becomes more efficient, which is another way of saying it burns less energy to survive. The Minnesota Starvation Experiment, 1950. Documented BMR drops of 20 to 25% during weeks without enough food. By day 19, my own wearable data suggested a similar range, maybe 15 to 20% down. And here's the first number, day 19. blood ketones 4.2 millimoles per liter. That's beyond standard nutritional ketosis. Your brain is running almost entirely on ketone bodies. Your pantry isn't just empty. Your body built an entirely new fuel system. All right, time for a reality check. Which number surprises you the most? A, B, or C? Drop it in the comments. I'll pin my answer, but here's a hint. It's not the one most people pick. Between you and me, I almost broke the fast on day 11. Not from hunger, from boredom. I stood in front of the fridge 3 times that night. Didn't open it, but the fact that I stood there, that surprised me. The mental game is harder than the physical one. Nobody tells you that. If you said C, the heart rate, you picked up on something the other numbers don't show. 51 beat per minute. That's deep parasympathetic dominance. Your body is running on minimum power. But there's one more number I promised you, the one most people never measure. Your respiratory quotient, 0.72. That tells you your body is burning almost pure fat. A 2010 textbook by Professor Frayne at Oxford, Metabolic Regulation, established that an RQ of 0.7 means 100% fat oxidation. I was at 0.72, almost there. So here's what the data actually shows after 19 days of measured fasting. Number 1, your glucose doesn't crash, it stabilizes. 52 sounds low, but your brain switched fuels. It's running on ketones. Number 2, ketone production scales with fasting duration. At day 19, you're in deep ketosis. Fat is your dominant fuel source. Number 3, your metabolism adapts downward. This is real. The body's thermostat dials back. Extended fasting isn't a free ride. Number 4, your resting heart rate drops. Deep parasympathetic dominance. Your body on minimum power. Number 5, autophagy. Your cell's renovation program is likely at peak levels by day 19. I say likely because we don't have precise human measurements for this duration. The mechanism is well established. The exact timeline in humans is still being researched. And the state my body entered. Deep nutritional ketosis paired with upregulated autophagy. That's the 3-number story. Ketones at 4.2. Glucose at 52. RQ at 0.72. Before I share these takeaways, this is educational content, not medical advice. Talk to your doctor before making changes, especially if you're on medication. Here's what this data means for your approach. Takeaway 1. If you've never fasted beyond 24 hours, you're only seeing phase 1, the pantry. The real metabolic shifts start around 72 hours. Takeaway 2. Invest in a blood ketone meter if you want real data. Urine strips become unreliable after the first week. Blood doesn't lie. Takeaway 3. Track your resting heart rate and body temperature. These are your early warning systems. If your heart rate drops below 45 or your temperature falls below 96 degrees, stop and eat. Takeaway 4. Maybe the most important. How you break the fast matters more than the fast itself. Here's the specific refeed protocol. Hour 0. Bone broth. 8 to 12 ounces. Warm. Sip slowly over 30 minutes. This wakes up your digestive system gently. 2 hours later, a small portion of fermented food. Half a cup of sauerkraut or kimchi. Your gut microbiome needs the reintroduction. 5 hours after the broth, a small meal. 2 eggs cooked in olive oil, a quarter avocado, a handful of spinach. Nothing heavy, nothing processed. If you feel dizzy or lightheaded at any point during the refeed, add a pinch of sea salt to your broth. Your electrolytes have been depleted. They need replenishing before your body can process solid food normally. Day 2 of Refeed. Repeat the pattern. Small meals. Easily digestible. No sugar. No refined carbs. Your digestive system has been dormant for 19 days. You wouldn't start a car engine that's been sitting for a month and immediately redline it. This applies to shorter fasts too. If you're doing OMAD or 24-hour fasts, the refeed still matters. Start with protein and healthy fats. Avoid the sugar trap. Remember the pantry metaphor? You just spent 19 days emptying it and rebuilding your fuel system. The first meal decides whether you keep those gains or flush them. But there's something nobody is talking about. The most surprising number from this experiment wasn't ketones or glucose. It was something that showed up on day 21, 2 days after I started eating again. My ketones stayed elevated for 48 hours after refeeding. My glucose rebounded, but not the way I expected. And one hormone marker did something the literature describes, but I'd never seen in my own data. That's the next video. What happens in the 72 hours after you break an extended fast? If you want to see those numbers, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. And if you're thinking 19 days is insane, I could never do that. You don't have to. Even a 24-hour fast puts your body through phase 1. Track one number. Start there. Drop a comment. What measurement would you want to track during a fast? I'll cover the top requests. See you in the next one.